fact, how did you both come to be involved with The Bodyguard? Did you get approached, or did you hear about it and go and audition?
I was called by my agent. I think it's both. Got approached about it, called by my agent. He said, "Hey, they're doing The Bodyguard." I laughed and said, "No, they're not." And he said, "Yeah, they are." He said, "And actually, I read the script and I think it's quite good." So he sent it to me. I read it, with each page turning, thinking, this page is going to be awful, this is going to be awful, and it wasn't. And then I remember telling him, "Okay, now send me the music. I want to hear the music." And he said, "I think you know the music." And I was like, "There's no way that they got the rights to those songs." And he's like, "Yeah, they did." So what happened was Thea and Alex were doing a stage reading, a table reading, sorry, in New York. And so I went in and did that with them. So it was kind of a meeting, audition, you know, for all of us. See if they liked me, if I liked them, I guess. And that's how that happened. So what happened with you?
Similar scenario in the sense of being sent a script. Well, asking me if I was interested in doing the Bodyguard musical. So I said no. Sounds like a terrible idea. Some guy saying, "I will protect you. I will save you."
Oh, I like that.
Sounds awful. So I said no, and then they said Thea Sharrock's directing it. And that didn't make sense at all. I know it from the Straight Theatre, so sent me the script, read it, and similar experience. Kept thinking it's going to get bad in a minute. Still good. Alex Denalaris, who adapted, did a terrific job. So then I put a couple of scenes on tape, and I was living in LA at the time, so I met Lawrence Kasdan in Beverly Hills. We spent about an hour and a half together, which was great. I was pretty sold at that point, but I thought I'd better check out Headley, and then that was the end. Really. That was my first error, checking her out, and here we are. Yeah.
Perfect. And were you both kind of fans of the film when it was obviously released originally?
Yeah, I was. I mean,
I was too young.
Yeah, he was way too young. Were you still in high school? Yeah. I did. I mean, I loved it. Whitney Houston, I've always been a big fan of hers. And so when the film came out, yes, I was the first in line to go. I think we were singing those songs everywhere. So were you singing those songs?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, from the boy perspective, Kevin was really cool. I remember absolutely loving it. Really, it was such a big event at the time.
It was a huge event.
I mean, I watched it subsequently, and it's like a period piece now. It's really bizarre.
It was.
Very different from my initial memory of it. And we're kind of somewhere different from that too. It's I think it's. I actually really think it lends itself to being a live musical. I mean, from the audience reaction that we're having, which is extraordinary. That was always my hope, that somehow, out of that drama, you then hear those songs live, hear Heather sing them, your eardrums vibrate, coming out of that story. Very powerful. And it's proving to be true at the moment. It's good.
Like you say, it is a very iconic film, has a huge fan base, doesn't it? How did you go about sort of adapting it from the film to the stage? Was there anything in particular to be careful of? Or?
No, I think obviously if you're going to do it, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean you have to honour the film. It has to be that people know what they want when they book for The Bodyguard. Similarly, you can't simply ape the film and take it scene for scene, because that wouldn't work theatrically. So it's a real challenge, and that's what I think Heather and I were both so excited about. When you read Alex's script, he succeeded in doing that in such a major way. And he had the whole songbook at that point, because the producer spent the last 6 years buying up Whitney's songs. So then to fit them into that story so that they're the right songs at the right time is also an incredible achievement. And so that's why it's different and very powerful for that. Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have anyone from the original film kind of help you out with the process, or if you had any feedback from them since at all?
As in actors?
Yeah, or any of the people that were involved in the production?
Well, of course, Lawrence Kasdan's been hands-on with this.
Really?
So, yeah, he sees all the scripts, and he's been in and talked to us and everything like that. He's very hands-on with it. So he's been around a lot.
Close to his heart too, because he wrote it for Steve McQueen and Diana Ross back in the day. It took him 17 years to get it made, and it was finally Costner and Whitney Houston, but it was his first script in Hollywood. And in fact, that meeting that I had with him in Beverly Hills was incredibly protective of the Frank from the role. He's like, this is how it's got to be. It's really interesting. It's lovely.
He's very protective of Frank.
So did he want, and did you guys want to kind of keep it quite sort of strictly to the original sort of storyline and format, or did you try and change it up quite a bit?
Well, I think, you know, like with any artist, with any person, I think you do your piece of work, and a lot of times you come back years later and you say, well, if I could, I would. If I could, I would fix this. If I could. I think that was the same thing with Lawrence Kasdan. He was just kind of like, oh, I've always wanted to do this, do that. And he handed it over to Alex. Alex did an amazing job, and he's been steering Alex, you know, down the road, you know what I mean, to make sure that it was right. I don't believe that the show is minute for minute the film. There are characters that have been amazingly explored. Things have been added, scenes have been taken out, but I do believe that if an audience member who's seen the movie comes in, they'll be happy. If you've never seen it, you'll be fine. You'll be happy. You don't need to see the movie and think, oh, you know, oh, I missed that. So I think they've done a really, really good job. You don't come into the theater thinking, oh, this is scene for scene. You know, you're going to have some many surprises through it. You know, and I'm a fan of the movie. I knew the movie, and that's why I liked reading the script, going, oh, that wasn't in there. Oh, that's different. So I think they've really, really done a good job. Just exploring it and just making it so ready for stage. And I'm not saying that as a performer in the show. I'm saying that as a fan of the movie. You know, that even from where we sit and just reading it, that it's kind of like they've really done a great job with it.
Great. And Kevin Costner was in town recently. Has he had a chance to come in and see the show, do you know?
I've no idea.
I have no idea. Yeah, we didn't see him, I think.
Yeah, he came and said it was amazing.
Yeah, he said Frank Farmer's the best thing he's ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have had some other big names in, haven't you? I was just hearing you've had Andrew Lloyd Webber has come into the audience and Sir Ian McKellen as well. Have you had any chance to meet any of these sort of big name people that have come in to see the show and get any feedback from them at all?
I met Webber and Nicole, and they loved it. They really did love it. But I will tell you this, and maybe you can speak for you too. I would rather not know the big names in the audience, because I think sometimes you start performing, you know, for them, and the truth be told is that everybody, when they walk into that theater, is a big name for us. You know what I mean? From the guy who just left work to sit in the seat to, you know, the guy who's got 10 Oscars or whatever it is. And so we're performing for each one. And so even though the big names love it, it's great to hear just the people just say, look, we are having the best time of our lives. So so I asked them not to tell me. I don't want to know. I just want to perform for that woman right there who is, you know, looking at me like I'm crazy right now, and we want to make sure she's smiling at the end of it, you know? Yeah. So, and so far that's been the case. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get a group of everybody coming in.
Yeah, so that happens, right?
It happens.
And Headley, you're a musician as well as an actress. How did you go about taking sort of Whitney songs and making them your own?
That's been the hardest thing. It's been keeping me up late at night. But I had to come into it. I had to stop listening to Whitney because it's this...
She's done it, by the way. That's what I'll add.
No.
It's done.
It's not. It's this very intimidating presence. I mean, she really, undeniably, had one of the best voices we will ever hear. And so I needed to make sure that I could, you know, the songs would fit in my voice. You know what I mean? It's like a girl having a dress. And so you just don't put a dress on and go out. You got to hem it and cinch in the waist and put a few things in it to make it work for you. And so that's what I've been doing, hemming. We're not cinching in the waist, letting the waist out.
Thimbles on her fingers. That's what she's doing.
That's what I do. I'm stitching every night.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, guys. Good luck with it. I saw it. It's brilliant. I loved it.
You're very sweet. Thank you.